and it may be unsettling, and it may disturb some people, whether it is in your personal relationships and you are inwardly disturbed and you need to adjust and change and stand up for yourself in your relationship and your sovereignty and your truth, or whether it is society and social, and we need to step out into the streets and, protest against these ridiculous mandates and all this, stuff that, the government is dumping down upon us in so many different countries. So this is really kind of a time of revolution. It's a kind of a time of stepping out, stepping forward, where we have had enough. And that is what the mantra today states for us, as well as the song, get up, stand up for your rights. Woo! Yeah.
Get up, stand up.
That's what it is
Stand
about.
up for your rights.
And talk about a revolution. Talk about a revolution. I gotta say, I really thought the new paradigm was gonna be this wonderful age of Aquarius.
Me
We're
too.
all gonna sing and dance, but
Me too.
it turns out that we actually need to overthrow the established old patriarchal patterns and institutions, and we're gonna need to, with our energy, and hopefully it can be a peaceful revolution. But we, over these next couple of years, I really feel that we are going to be called more and more, stronger and stronger, louder and louder, to gather together and possibly overthrow some of the old, how can I say, outdated, outmoded, no longer working, no longer healthy, no longer good institutions, leaders,
Good.
corporations,
Good.
companies,
Yeah.
educational institutions,
Yay.
those that are just really holding us back from the full realization of our potential as individuals and as community. This is the birthing of the age of Aquarius. So I have now had enough of being told what's right and wrong. I am a powerful, sovereign being and will follow the beat of my drum.
Good.
You want to repeat this over. You may need to repeat this over a few times this week when you hear some news, or it's necessary for you to deliver some news. And stand in that Venus and Sagittarius, standing in your truth, standing in your sovereignty. You have had enough. We have had enough. It's time now for truth to prevail. And in time, truth always does prevail. And this is one of those times. So, knock it out, man. Get up and stand up. Here we go. One more time. I have now had enough of being told what's right and wrong. I am a powerful, sovereign being and will follow the beat of my drum. May you follow the beat of your drum, and may you dance into the sunrise. Let me get that sunrise. Here we are. Where's that sun?
Nice.
Where'd that
Thanks,
sun go?
Good Biter. Thanks for being in the desert for us.
It's over JoJo's head. I can't even. Where is it high up in the sky? Oh, it's just too bright. It's so big. You can't really see it. All right. Anyway, all I can say is, with me and JoJo. Come here, JoJo. Get this. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.
Thank Thank you, dear Carpaccia. Good. Good. Nice. Thanks, Carpaccia, for sharing. Okay, back to Paulina. Let's see.
And who we marked ourselves out to be, where we don't really belong based on level of expertise because it is way too high, way too low. And then eventually we also have to be understood somehow by another and also get other people together and help other people, help each other get through this very, very hardcore time in our history today. To be able to join the dots for all of us. We have Black Moon Lilith close to the North Node, still in retrograde, and Sedna and Ceres very close, especially Sedna. Sedna is a very, very tragic asteroid, sometimes very tragic, tragedy-ridden aspect. We have a very, very close by call. You know, sometimes people can be very, very close to doing or saying something that they shouldn't. It is a very close call. It's very easy to slip and then somehow land on your feet. Still, yet again, if you're a very lucky person, we've got Mercury calling shots behind the sun, very fiery Mars next to it. And also Maki and Hygeia, making it very, very teachy and very, very knowledgeable, what you're doing, what you're saying, what you're teaching yourself and others, but it's sort of like a nagging feeling. So in a way, I feel that a lot of us are feeling like a child. We have a full moon in Aries, feeling like a child, being a little bit left off center, being left behind, not knowing how to speak, talking too fast, talking too slow, making that call too soon, too early, having things too sad or too down or too bad or too good or too fruity. And sometimes these imbalances, as we get to the end of Libra, we need to know about. We need to get really strong about it, and we need to get through to ourselves and other people about how we are and who we are, and what we're going to do later on in our lives based on a certain rebalancing technique that other people can provide. Don't be afraid to ask another person, what do you think about me? Okay, how do you think I'm going? Do you think it's okay?
It is.
Do you think I'm doing all right? So
You're doing
if
great,
you're feeling
Paulina.
a bit also naughty, and I talked about naughtiness previously in other videos. If you're feeling a little bit naughty or weird, or
Miss Paulina.
you're asking the questions and not getting any answer, or there is a nagging feeling about who you are or what you're doing, it's very,
Paulina
very
wasn't giving me readings recently in the past year. She was overwhelmed by my energy.
the balance could be.
She was like, "You don't need me." I'm like, I need you, Paulina. And she's like, "Nope, you don't need me." I'm like, "I'm dying." And she's like, "You'll be fine." I'm like, "Nah." But thanks for Paulina for replying to my emails. I appreciate you.
Very gorgeous time to
You're
find
amazing.
a nice medium ground between you and another person, even if it was very hard to do before. Very easy to tell a person what they really need, like, hey, you need an agent, or like, hey, you need a hairdresser, or hey, you need a doctor, or hey, you need a teacher, hey, you need to do something about this. And it's absolutely fine if you get that the same. So we're all kind of kids, and we're learning big time, but before we really get this full glow of Aries moon, we've got to understand what she's doing before then. And she's going through, you guys.
It takes so much time, you guys. Like, this is not even fun being a YouTuber.
The vertex
The
and
fuck?
retrograde Chiron also
Ew.
in Aries before she gets into Aries and joins forces with Eris, the asteroid. So she's going through quite a giddy up full quantum shift before she gets there. So there's quite a lot of nonsense, no man's land, and playing with shadow for a lot of people before they land it and go, oh, here we are. So this could be either walking through the desert, or this could be walking through the rain. It could be maybe doing an unneeded job, or walking around in circles. Okay, Pisces, no man's land, karma central with sun and balancing Libra, so we are going through some karmic stuff If you want, before you go through the tipsy-turvy ride, back yourself up, you guys. You can just say it, okay? If you've got something that you're not sure about, if you need to get that word, if you need to sign a paper, you don't know how to go about it, just back yourself up. And also, it's very nice to have a sober view of things and not to know things if you don't actually know. Like, say, I don't really know how to do this. I don't really realize how to put this together. And it's absolutely okay if you want to be a fool already, or you're prepared to be kind of foolish. If you'd like to know, in just a couple of days, I will debut some of my guitar playing and singing for the first time in front of people in Tarapoto, and there's going to be an interesting little tipsy-turvy, curvy ride. The ball is in my field because it is my birthday, but it's going to be a very, very joyful time. So, like, that's going to be, that's one of those things. It's like, hey, guys, what do you think? Can I do it? And also be unafraid of criticism, and also kind of criticizing yourself before we go into very mature and tempting, temperamental Scorpio on the 23rd of October. We have to really know our stuff. If you're going to perform in front of people, you've got to know your stuff. If you're going to get married, you've got to really go through the paperwork. You've got to know what's in front of you. If you're really going to make this house, if you're going to make this stand as ground, if you're going to make it perfect, if you're going to be the expert one day, maybe soon, or if not now, maybe, who knows? If you're going to make that power move, it is such a wonderful, gorgeous time to go through a few tipsy-turvy Piscean dreams, and also some wreckage, and be absolutely okay that either it was too good to be true, you didn't know, or it just completely couldn't stand its ground, and that's totally okay. So, like, sometimes it is so much nicer during this time to get a glowing ovation or a complete standoffishness from your audience or your peers, because sometimes it's how Aries knows that it is Aries, from how the world reacts or treats it. So in a way, we do have to have this vibrational bounce with the ego, also North Node with Sagittarius and Black Moon Lilith and Gemini, you know what I mean? So it does have to go through this kind of weird, who am I, am I good enough, am I lucky enough, should I really be doing this, is my venture worth the purpose? And eventually it's going to be sheer luck and by some wacky weird design, and one day you can completely marry it all together. So this is where you just propose to that person, just make it true.
Propose?
Also happening in my life at the moment.
Nice!
This is
congratulations!
Where you complete the picture and put your signature on it.
Oh my god, Paulina! Okay. Congratulations!
This is where you totally fall in love with a purpose or a cause. This is where you understand how to organize yourself.
I'm so happy. Oh, I'm gonna reach out to you now. You're ready for my reading.
Or where it disappears.
You're in a good place.
This is where it becomes brutally obvious. Some of us, we don't know how to package what we've got. Like, some
are we ready to hear me after Paulina's reading?
Others,
that's the question I have for you.
Sort of vibe,
Paulina's readings are they're some of the most on point readings you can ever get. No, can imagine what's going to happen. Paulina, I'm reaching out to you.
It's like a freak show. It looks loopy when I put it together. Like, how do I really reach the right audience? How do I really address my peers? How do I really dress for the occasion? How do I really manage my finances? How do I treat my spouse or significant other, especially if, like, you don't really fit into the binary situation? What do I really mean to myself? Like, how does it actually look when you have all these details together? This is a very interesting time for introspection as well, only for the mature audience, of course.
Mature audience?
The one thing I'm looking at is Eros, the planet, and Pholus, being in Capricorn, behind the support of Pluto, Chiron, Fortune, and Saturn. We have a very, very nice relationship to ourselves. This is only for the mature audience. So this is for the well-equipped person, the true traveler, and the real master Okay, so if you know
Hello.
you are this and you're no longer kidding around and you just know you've got it, like, guess what's in my pocket? Wow, like I have it, I've got it.
She's good.
If you suddenly have a very good stash of cash, if you have a very good reminder almost every day as to who you are, if you have completely sorted out your finances, your life, your workforce, your workflow, you've got your paintings on the wall, you've got your business stuff together, you have your accounts, you've got every account, you've done all the research. This is for the old and wise and just the very new at things but surprisingly good at things people. You know who you are. You just like turn up on the scene and you're the master. That's really freaky. You just started playing chess and you're the master. Very freaky people. You know who you are. Very, very new sprouts, in any scene. Okay, just tried figure skating today and blew everybody away. Incredibly, incredibly potent young people. Also people that have been withered and weathered and fine with that and now understand who they are and what they've got. It's like you never really fully discovered yourself till now. You probably never knew the value of your property till now. You guys, I'm gonna get close to the microphone just in case. You guys living in special places, okay, and you got nobody around you and you thought that you were kind of gonna die alone. How lucky you are now. How lucky you guys are now with the horses and the ranch. Oh my gosh, anybody there with the hammocks outside and the wind blowing in the south, the wind, the tumbleweed blowing in the wind. You guys are the lucky few. Happy birthday, high five. Okay, so anyway, you probably now understand the value of your grandparents' ranch, basically, or your incredible gift. The incredible speaker comes out here, the big guns. But here you basically know it, and it's almost like tired on you a little bit. And it's very easy to have something come in and you're like, I just cracked the jackpot. I just had the most beautiful thing happen. If you have a diamond in the rough type feeling, I congratulate you. I congratulate also all of us golden oldies in some respect that have been hiding their stuff somewhere, like we had a gift or we were confused as to how to express ourselves. We had some rough times and we couldn't yet fully enable ourselves to embody, and suddenly we're getting out. It's almost like coming out of the crypt. This is not a Halloween special, I'm just saying. Coming out of the crypt, where you thought nobody could hear any rustle. There was, once, or even like a has-been, like once, like in the 1970s, you were the best at something, and now all of a sudden you are still the best at it. If it's meant to be, if you actually have a golden olden talent, that nobody knew, like you still juggle pretty good, or like you're still a very good lover, you like
Still very good
make
lover.
really good music, or you're just the best.
Probably
like
not.
the best returns.
This is good. Okay, let's go back to the peace dealer. And we're going to see from here.
Out here, Archangel Tour coming soon, bitches. And this is very amazing. Let me not even say bitches. Let me say ladies and gentlemen, because this is getting ready to now complete the rest of the zodiac cycle that we finished the first 6 signs of. Libra is done, son.
Done.
We got 5 more. Can you make it through Scorpio season? Because Libra was just a taste, okay? That Mercury retrograde was fucking insane. And now we're going to have to go through Scorpio season. Like, can you handle it? Can you handle it? So what's your supernatural anime transformation sequence? Who and what partnerships are you moving forward with? Because this is going to ground rather miraculously. And you're going to instantly with the moon. What the fuck was that? Instantly with the moon over the North Node of Destiny, going to be instantly aligned to where all of this belongs and what the truth is regarding how we're about to transform and intensify this to literally the next level, ascending into Sagittarius. I'm gonna end this here. Y'all stay blessed as always. And until next time, Godspeed.
Thank you. That's what we got. You know what I do want? I want to hear this.
Even without doing any activity, you can still manifest what you want. if you organize these four dimensions
What is conventionally called love can be many different things.
Just
There are many
because
different levels to it.
it's always nice to have Eckhart Tolle
Some people
speaking
call it love when they
about love.
fall in love with someone, which is a clinging, a needing that is partly, usually physical, emotional needing of the other. And that's called love, but that is a lower manifestation of what is love and can easily turn into its opposite
Yep.
from one moment to the next, as many people have experienced, how the person that you fall in love with, you hate a few days later.
I've not
a
experienced
week
that.
later, suddenly, love, hate are so closely related, the opposites
what you're
in
talking
that,
about.
that kind of love. But the love for your children is a different matter. There's a strong emotional bond with your children, and it can probably, I haven't experienced a mother's love, but probably I can understand that you may get a sense of losing yourself in the other. And that is that strong emotional bond. And then there's another higher manifestation of love that may already be also part of your emotional
His
bond,
outfits are
but
everything.
it's probably a mixture of emotion plus something else.
These colors,
But that something else
the
is
volume.
spiritual love. And in some languages, there's completely different words for different kinds of love. For example, in Greek, there was eros. Eros is one kind of love. Agape is another kind of love. What I'm talking about here now is agape
Agape.
is the love of the other because it comes from knowing who or what you are
Beautiful.
and recognizing yourself in the other. And that is we could call the spiritual love, and that's the direction in which you are moving. So the foundation for that is not, I would say, as it's conventionally called, loving yourself. That's a strange thing. Now,
96.
many people, quite a few, hate themselves more than they love themselves. Now, it's better, of course, to love yourself than to hate yourself. It's something that people who practice positive thinking and want to shift negative mind patterns may put notices up throughout their house with little messages to themselves, which might say, I completely accept and love myself. Well, I'm sure that's better than I completely hate myself, much better. But there's still a duality there, and it's a very strange thing. Who is loving whom? I love myself. Who are you, and who is that self that you love? People who say, I love myself, don't think about it, what that really means, and there's a little bit of a duality there. I love myself. So there must be two of me. There's the I that does the loving, and there's the myself that's being loved. Strange, really weird. And then, as you begin to awaken spiritually, awaken to the presence, then what gradually comes to an end is having a relationship with yourself. Until that happens, people have a relationship with themselves, which is sometimes even manifests as dialogues they have in their head. One part of you talks to another part of you. You are talking to yourself. Now, you really should make an effort to do better. I know you can do better. And the other part of it is,
Geminis in the
I've done
world
my best, but
can
what else
relate.
can I do than do my best? Then no, that
Gemini
wasn't your
moons.
best. You should have done remember the voice of your mother, and then you hear the voice of your mother in the background. You should be doing better. Why do you mess up your whole life? You're just like your dad. That was my mom when I gave up my academic career. Oh, that's your dad in there. You have a relationship with yourself. Very strange. It's kind of split that happens. And that's a part of a normal state of consciousness. Everybody, unless they are awakened, or at least awakening, in which case that begins to recede. But everybody else, they have a relationship with themselves, which is maybe sometimes good, sometimes bad, uneasy. They're proud of themselves, and then they're ashamed, and then they call themselves a loser, or somebody else calls them a loser, and they believe it, or all kinds of weird things, narratives, and so on. And as you awaken spiritually, what gradually comes to an end is having a relationship with yourself. So what is that replaced with? When you no longer have a relationship with yourself, you are yourself.
Hello.
I am.
Good. Okay. Happy time.